Now, families of missing flood victims in KwaZulu-Natal spending their days hoping and praying for news that the bodies of their loved ones will be recovered. One such family was left disappointed after a body discovered in Umlazi River in the Lukanda area turned out not to be of their loved ones. 7 members of the Hlophe family are still missing today. eNCA reporter Manqoba Mchunu has been with this family, joining us now live for the latest. Good afternoon, Manqoba. Very tough situation to find yourself in when you've been looking for weeks and then you are told it's likely that your loved one's body has been found, but it turns out not to be the case.
Indeed, but you can imagine the kind of agony that these families are going through, trying to find their loved ones. It's been 4 weeks for these families trying really to search with the search and rescue teams. Wherever they get a call, they go to the scene hoping that it will be their loved ones that are found by the teams. And of course, this family yesterday, they received a call from community members in Luganda, just not far from here where we are, who told them that they had in fact found a body along the banks of the Umlazi River. So the family had then rushed there hoping that perhaps it would be one of their family members. You recall, pretend that the Hlophe family is among the families here in KwaNdengezi that are still looking for their loved ones. In fact, they are looking for 7 of their relatives who had been swept away by the mudslide that had occurred at their home, of course reducing their entire household to rubble. We do know that there are also other families here, including the Kwantuli family as well as Kwapewa family and the Memela family that are also still looking for loved ones. So this family had gone there really with high hopes, pretend that the person that had been found there would be one of their family members. Of course, there are about 6 of them who are children, as well as one who is 64 years old. But I'm going to speak to one of the family members just to get a sense from them how they feel at this particular point, given that the person that was found there was actually not their family member. Ngade, thank you for your time. I know it was a very difficult day namhlanje njengoba sihamba nani lapha singena sihambe ehlathini sizifinyelele emfuleni Umlazi benitshela ukuthi nizingase nithole mhlawumbe isihlobo senu bekunja nje kunina manithola ukuthi akene umuntu wakini.
Ngiphatheke kabi kakhulu, angifuni ukuqamba amanga ngoba sisuke ekhaya benginethemba lokuthi mhlambe ngase kube khona oyedwa wengane esingamthola. Ngibhlungu nje kakhulu ukuthi sesihambe ibanga elingaka sinethemba igcineni kosuku sigcine ukuthi akusiyena umuntu esimdingayo, kodwa nginethemba ukuthi egcineni kosuku sogcina sibatholile nathi.
Lo muntu enifike naye kuyena ukubona lapha yana nithole ukuthini ngaye kuphe nikwaziyo ngaye?
Bafikile, sifikile khona bathi asize sizombona, kodwa sabatshela sathi thina umuntu ade simdinga besidinga ingane from 1 year uya ku 10 years mase kuba umuntu omdala ubukeka ku 64 years because ugogo loyo. Mengabe sifika lapha yabathi umuntu ubukeka eno 25 kuya ku 27 and umuntu wesilisa sabe sesingasamboni ke ngoba vele asemdinga umuntu wesilisa oneminyaka emingako sagcina singambonanga.
Sanihambile amakhaza niqiqa amakhaza nizama ukuthola ihlobo zenu ezalahleka, kodwa ke ngiyeza ukuthi khona enikwenzile izolo ukuzama ukuthi ke ninikeze amaphoyisa idini ukuthi nikwazi ukuthola ihlobo zenu.
Awekho amakhaza singawahambanga, ngiphuma ngisho ko Park Lane ko Phoenix ama social worker esisiza ukuthi sihambe sonke lezo indawo, bathe Pine Town ke bathe khona abantu angeke besabonakala ingakho beze bebana leqhinga lokuthi kwenziwa ama DNA. Sahamba ke izolo senza ama DNA sinethemba ukuthi azosemebuya nathi sibathole siba ingane zethu.
Nogandaganda la ngizokuthuba ufikile la ekhaya wafika wabheka lapha benifuna kubhekwe khona khona ukutholile
umbili ugandaganda wamba futhi indiladumba ngawo kade sigculiseka engangokubuthi mungabe umba sathola ugogo le kade simfihla vele ngo-October ya base afika amaphoyisa ngoba vele ugogo ubaye kade sengcwatshwe kuzomela ukuthi siphinde simbele mase sesiyamgqiba futhi, kodwa mayelana nengane nogogo akukho esikutholile.
So njengomndeni nikakaza ukuthola njengamanje ukudlulisa lolu daba kuze kube nithola ihlobo zenu?
Yebo, ngiyafisa nje ukuthi engathi singabathola uyabona singabathola kungangcono ngoba nami inhliziyo yami ngakuthola ukuthula ngoba kuye kube ngcono umuntu ungabe umgcwambili ngoba kuye kube ngconywana yabo manje basingabathola kanje angifuni ukuqamba amanga nobuthonga ngibazi even ukudla angini.
Thank you, Sister Mkhulumanati. Well, but then that was Hlophe, who's one of the family members. She herself has lost her 3-year-old child, who she's still hoping to find. There were about 7 family members that had been swept away. In fact, it's 8, Praten. One of them was found just days after this incident. And she's saying that, Praten, that it was quite a disappointment for the family that the person that was found at the banks of the Umlazi River was not their relative. They were hoping that it would be one of their family members, including, the 1-year-old child, the 3-year-old child, or the 7-year-old child, or perhaps even the 64-year-old granny from the household. But it was none of those people. In fact, they were told by the search and recovery teams that it was a male that was around the age of 35, and so that was definitely not one of their family members. So the family is saying that they won't lose up hope, though, of trying to find their loved ones. They're still going to continue with the search. But she says that over the weekend they've actually had to give their DNA to the police so that it could help perhaps to trace, as you'll know, that some of the bodies would be in a state of decomposition by now. So their DNA has been taken as a family, and so they are hoping that they'll be able to trace those remaining 7 members of the family. There was also a tractor and excavator that came here to the family house to dig the area where they had suspected that some of the family members had been buried by the sand. But she says that there was none of those family members that were actually found. But what was discovered by the search and recovery teams was the body of their grandmother, who was buried last year around October, and so they've had to rebury their grandmother, who was found during that particular search. So, but then the family saying, though, that they're not going to give up hope on trying to find their loved ones. But we do know that the search and recovery teams say that the dogs have also sniffed up another possible body in that particular area. So we might see them returning to the scene to try perhaps and see if they would recover more bodies in that particular area.
Thank you very much, Manqoba Mchunu, on the ground in KwaZulu-Natal.